Alright, hello. So here I am getting ready to demonstrate a quick hang, again in another tree-less ideal situation. Say you're hiking, backpacking, moto camping or something, and you don't have two trees that are ideal, or no trees at all, like I'm getting ready to do for the Wyoming backcountry discovery route on my motorcycle. So in the two sections or three sections that we might encounter less than ideal situations to hammock hang between two trees, I have two Tensa Trekking Treez that I'm going to use to hang my superior hammock, which is 11 feet in length. So I already had one video showing one pole hang on a tree, but now I have two trekking trees that I'm going to demonstrate. So to start off, I'm going to show that I have my stakes here already positioned in the ground. I already have my loop on the end around the boom, so that way when the weight is distributed, pulling on the stake, it's going to distribute that weight on the ground like so. And as they recommend, roughly 6 feet across. It's not a measurement, just more or less a couple of paces. My stride is roughly 3 feet, so between it's 1, 2, it's roughly 6 feet, maybe a little bit more, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then as you can see, I already have the first tree up at the desired angle, or roughly. I already have my continuous loop here and the hammock on the first hub, and then you can see these two are already engaged here at the top at roughly a 20 degree angle or such. And I do roughly a 3.5, 4 paces to get the length that I want for my hammock, being 11 feet, so I know roughly where to space it. So from here, 4 paces for the limb foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And here in just a second I'll come back and I'll show you with the other Tensa Trekking Tree. Be right back. Right now I want to take one of my guy lines here and I'm going to go ahead and affix it on the hub and go ahead and get the second one, and then I'm going to stretch out the hammock and find out where I need a stake out. So as you can see, I got the guy lines already on the hubs right there, and I have them stretched out in this grass here roughly 6 feet apart where I think they're going to go, and I'm getting ready to find out exactly where they should go in reference to the rest of the hammock hang. I'll check it here in just a second. Putting the loop of the guy line over the stake, making the other loop at the bottom of the boom. I'll taut it up a little bit. Alright. So basically, to recap what you were seeing me do with the stake, you just saw me put this loop over the stake here, take out the slack, and then right here I'm putting this little loop right here where the guy line comes over top at the very end. Do that to both sides. And what you were seeing when I was fiddling around was me just taking basically this whoopee type sling right here on the berry, and I was taking the slack out of this, as you all know if you're familiar with them, and I was just taking out the length and making my line fairly taut and just milking the berry so the constrictor of the berry is constricting on this part of the guy line, making it tight. And I was just doing that on both sides. And just to recap, 6 feet, basically 2 paces from here. 1, 2, to the other one, roughly 6 feet, V-shaped. So I don't know if you can see it, but in a nutshell, this is what she looks like. Right there you can see one guy line. And then over here, oh, there she goes. You can see the other one. Got a slight angle there for that Tensa Trekking Tree. 11-foot superior hammock. So this side, and you can see these guy lines all the way down on the same Try not to get in my shadow. I'll step back here, get a little bit of distance so you can kind of get the whole thing in picture. Don't want to get too far back, but there she is. Nothing fancy. Give me just a second and I'll show you what it lays in. I haven't laid it in yet, but I'll show you what it looks like, what happens. Alright, just started recording again. I'm going to do a real world test and no cutting or editing. Just secured everything down the ground. I'm going to do a test, see how she holds, and we'll see where she lays. Yeehaw. Alright, let's go do a hang and see what happens. Looking good so far. Feels good. Got the right amount of tension. As you see, get a little bit of swinging, and she's holding. Just kind of rock her back and forth. And if you need to, you can hang now without trees.